By the time you finish this video, you will understand why last year felt like it lasted about 3 months and why the summers of your childhood felt like they went on forever. And here is the good news. Once you see how the trick works, you can actually slow time back down. When you were 8 years old, a single summer felt like an entire lifetime. Now, entire years disappear while you are busy answering emails. You blink in January, and suddenly it is December again. This is not your imagination. Something is genuinely happening inside your brain, and it happens to almost every human on Earth. Here is the first thing you need to know. Your brain does not measure time like a clock does. A clock counts seconds. Your brain does something completely different. It measures time by how much it remembers, and that one difference explains almost everything. Let us start with the simple math because it is a little bit terrifying. When you are 8 years old, 1 year is a huge chunk of your entire existence. It is more than 10% of everything you have ever experienced. But when you are 40, 1 year is just 1/40th of your life, a tiny sliver. So, each new year literally feels smaller compared to everything that came before it. Some scientists call this proportional theory, and it means the feeling of time speeding up is built directly into the structure of being alive. Every year you live, the next one becomes a smaller fraction of your total. Time is a slide that keeps getting steeper. But hold on, because this is only half of the story, and the second half is the part you can actually do something about. Your brain has a rule that it never tells you about. It only writes down what is new. Think of your memory like a diary that your brain keeps automatically. When something new or surprising or emotional happens, your brain writes a long, detailed entry. When nothing new happens, it writes almost nothing at all. Now think about what a normal week looks like for most adults. Wake up, coffee, commute, work, dinner, phone, sleep, repeat. Your brain looks at Tuesday and says, "This is identical to Monday, so I am not writing this down." And here is the brutal part. When your brain looks back later to judge how long a period of time was, it does not check a clock. It counts the diary entries. Fewer entries means the time feels shorter in memory. That is why an entire year of routine can collapse into what feels like a few weeks when you look back on it. Your brain skipped writing most of it down, so as far as your memory is concerned, most of it never really happened. Now you can see why childhood felt so long. When you were a kid, everything was happening for the first time. First bike ride. First thunderstorm you actually paid attention to. First time you tasted something weird. Your brain was writing furiously, filling page after page. A single childhood summer might generate more diary entries than an adult gets in 3 years. And now, as an adult, you have seen most of it before. Your brain files entire months under same as before and moves on. This is not laziness, it is efficiency. Your brain is trying to save energy. But the side effect is that your life, as you remember it, gets shorter. Not the living of it, the memory of it. Here is a small experiment that proves all of this, and you have already run it on yourself without knowing. It is called the return trip effect. When you travel somewhere new, the journey there feels long, right? You notice everything. Signs, the turns, the weird gas station. But the trip home, the exact same distance, feels dramatically shorter. Same road, same minutes on the clock. But on the way there, your brain was recording everything because it was all new. On the way back, it recognized the route and basically stopped taking notes. Fewer notes, shorter feeling. Your entire adult life is one long return trip, unless you interrupt it. So here is the question that actually matters. If time speeds up because your brain stops recording, can you force it to start recording again? And the answer is yes. This is the part where you get to fight back. The scientists who study this keep landing on the same answer, and it is almost annoyingly simple. Novelty. New experiences force your brain to pay attention and write things down. And the entries do not need to be huge. You do not need to quit your job and move to another country. Your brain gives you credit for small new things too. Take a different route on your walk. Cook something you have never cooked. Learn 3 chords on an instrument. Have a real conversation with someone new. Each one of these forces a diary entry. And a month with 30 small new things in it will feel, in memory, several times longer than a month of pure routine. There is a second trick, and it might be even more powerful. Attention. Your brain also writes longer entries when you are fully paying attention to something, even if it is not new. This is why a moment where you truly slow down, put the phone away, and actually notice where you are can feel strangely stretched out. You are giving your brain time to write. And there's a third trick, and this one is free. Remembering. When you replay your experiences, talk about them, or look at photos from a trip, you are thickening those diary entries. Psychologists have found that anticipating things and remembering things can bring almost as much joy as the thing itself. You get to live it more than once. Now for the uncomfortable part, because I promised you honesty. If you do nothing, this effect gets stronger every single year, the routines get deeper, the novelty gets rarer. And decades can genuinely go by feeling like they were compressed into a few short scenes. People at the end of their lives almost never say the years were too slow. But you are not on rails. You now know the mechanism, and the mechanism is the cheat code. Time does not speed up because you got older. Time speeds up because you stopped collecting moments worth writing down. Which means the fix has nothing to do with age and everything to do with what you do this week. So here is your homework, and it takes 1 week. Every day for 7 days, do one small thing you have never done before. That is it. One thing per day. Then next Sunday, look back at the week and notice how long it feels compared to the week before. You will feel the difference. Your brain will have written it all down. Because here is the truth hiding inside all of this. You cannot add years to your life on demand, but you can absolutely add life to your years, and your brain will repay you by making them feel longer. Okay, the clock is not the thing that is lying to you. Your calendar is not lying either. The only thing bending time is the diary in your head, so go give it something to write about. If this changed how you think about time, the next video will change how you think about boredom, because boredom turns out to be one of the most useful signals your brain ever sends you. I will see you there.